I've traveled through some of the most remote places in Asia, and one thing that kept showing up along the way was animals. Not in zoos, not on safaris, but in real life. In villages, jungles, mountains. And every time, the experience stuck with me. Let me start with one of the wildest moments. In Vietnam, I went to a restaurant where they serve snake. But not just cooked snake, you actually choose a live one. They brought it out, cut it in front of me, and collected the blood and bile in a shot glass. It's considered a traditional drink, believed to give strength. I was hesitant, but I drank it. Then they prepared the meat, stir-fried, soup-grilled. I ate every part, the heart, the liver, even the skin. The taste, tough and gamey. The experience, something I'll never forget. It wasn't just food. It was a look into a local custom that's deeply rooted in belief and survival. But snakes weren't only on the plate. I saw them in the wild jungles of Laos, Vietnam, and Thailand. Sometimes crawling across the trail, other times coiled in trees. In Thailand, I held a massive snake during one of my visits. It was heavy, strong, and surprisingly calm. That's the kind of moment that reminds you how small you are. In the same jungles, I came across monkeys. They're everywhere, curious, fast, and always watching. Some tried to steal food. Others just followed quietly. But they're smart. You can see it in their eyes. Now let's talk about the tiger. In Thailand, I had an encounter with tigers while touring. Just me and a tiger. I touched it, ran my hand through its fur, lifted its tail. It was calm, alert, but didn't react. I wasn't afraid, but I was aware, fully present. That's not something you fake. You know this animal is stronger, faster, and it's letting you be there. That moment taught me more about respect than most human conversations. In Laos and Thailand, I also rode elephants. The most memorable moment was in Laos, during a river ride. I was sitting on the elephant's neck, and it suddenly drew water with its trunk and sprayed it all over me. It felt like it was playing with me. Being on an elephant in a river surrounded by jungle, it's one of those moments where you just stop and take it all in. Elephants are slow, powerful, and incredibly intelligent. When you ride one, you move at the pace of the land. Now let's go to Mongolia, one of the coldest, toughest places I've been. There, I spent time with the Tsaatan people who live deep in the forest near Siberia. They raise reindeer. not as pets, but as partners. They use them for transport, milk, and sometimes meat. I rode one. It's a different experience from horses. Reindeer are smaller, gentler, and quieter. They're built for snow with wide hooves and thick fur. Watching how the Tsaten care for them taught me what it means to live fully connected to nature. Reindeer aren't just animals in that culture, they're part of the family. Also in Mongolia, I met yaks, big, strong animals that look like a mix between a cow and a bison. They carry loads, provide milk, and survive in freezing temperatures without complaint. They're slow, but incredibly resilient. You see yaks, and you realize how tough life is up there, and how people and animals survive it together. Back in Vietnam, I had a quieter moment feeding an ox in a small village. Simple, peaceful. It just stood there, chewing slowly, like it had all the time in the world. It reminded me that not every experience needs to be wild to be meaningful. In the markets, I saw frogs kept alive in buckets sold for food. That might seem shocking at first, but in many parts of Asia, that's normal. It's part of life, and nothing goes to waste.
And what this? What keep? Wildest?
I've also met eagles, massive birds used by hunters in Central Asia. Holding one is intense. It's not just a bird. It's a predator that chooses to work with a human. That relationship is built over years, and it shows in how the hunter and eagle move together. I watched them hunt. It was raw, real, and ancient. Now, if there's one animal I know best, it's the horse. I've spent a lot of time with them. I'm an experienced rider. I've fallen off, gotten back up, and learned how to move with them over long distances and tough terrain. I've climbed mountains on horseback, worked in snow with them, and every time the connection gets deeper. In Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan, horses are more than transport. They're tradition. I rode with locals, helped care for the animals, and spent time in the open plains where the only sound is the wind and hoofs. I even worked at a horse school in Switzerland for a short time. The owner was difficult, and I eventually left, but the experience taught me discipline and patience. Horses sense your energy. If you're nervous, they know. If you're confident and calm, they trust you. To me, horses represent freedom and control at the same time. You don't just sit on one and go, you build a connection. And once that's there, it's like nothing else. They've been with me through landscapes, weather, and moments where I just needed to feel grounded. In Mongolia, I also spent time with camels, specifically the Bactrian camel, the one with 2 humps. They're different from the camels you usually see in deserts. These are built for the cold. Thick fur, strong legs, and a calm, steady attitude. I rode them through dry valleys and windy open spaces. They're used by nomads to carry goods across long distances and survive in environments where very few animals can. Camels are stubborn, but smart. They don't rush. They move slow and steady, but they get there. Spending time with them gave me a lot of respect for how they've helped people survive out here for generations. And then there's the shepherd culture, something I saw everywhere from Kyrgyzstan to Mongolia and beyond. Herds of sheep moving across massive grasslands, guided by 1 or 2 people on horses or motorcycles. These sheep aren't fenced in. They roam freely, and the shepherds move with them. In Kyrgyzstan, I stayed in yurts where you wake up to the sound of sheep bells. The work is constant, guiding, feeding, protecting them from wolves. In Asia, sheep provide everything: milk, meat, wool. Shepherding isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle. It's passed down from parents to children. And when you live close to animals like that, you see the world in a very different way. Looking back, these animals weren't side attractions. They were central to the journey. They challenged me, taught me, and in many ways reminded me of how much we've lost in modern life, especially that instinct to observe, respect, and adapt. Whether it was riding a reindeer, drinking snake blood, getting soaked by an elephant, or watching a tiger breathe, each moment was real. That's the kind of travel I live for. Not just seeing new places, but connecting with animals, people, and the world itself.
Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and hit the subscribe button to follow me for more travel content like this. See you next time.